Hi, welcome to FinFlow Studio tutorial. In this video, I'll show you how to set up and use your smart annual and monthly budget spreadsheet in most practical way. Before we begin, this tutorial uses the beige version of the spreadsheet. Don't worry if your spreadsheet looks different. The layout, formulas, and features are identical across all color themes. The only difference is the color scheme.
Let's start right away. First of all, the colored cells contain formulas. You should only enter data in the white cells. So if you see this message, it means that you're not supposed to touch it. Simply cancel or press X. This is color-coded so that it is easy to remember and simple to use. This spreadsheet has 10 tabs. The first tab is the Setup tab, then followed by Log, Calendar, Year Dashboard, Monthly Budget, Account, Savings, Debt, Net worth, and end. First, go to the Instructions tab and read the guide carefully. Once done, proceed to the Setup tab. This is where you'll enter the required information. First, type the year and the currency you will be using. For example, dollars. For other currencies, you can simply type them in or copy and paste. You will need to enter subcategories under each of the 5 main categories: income, bills, expenses, debt, and savings. For income, list all the sources of income such as paycheck, side hustle, freelance, bonus, tax refunds, cash gift, and business. For bills, enter your recurring monthly obligations such as rent payments, electricity, water, internet, phone bill, and so on. For expenses, include your day-to-day spending such as groceries, gas, dining out, coffee, shopping, personal care, pet care, and other miscellaneous expenses. For debt, list any outstanding debts such as credit card, student loans, car loans, personal loans, and other debt obligations. For savings, create savings goals or accounts such as emergency fund, vacation fund, wedding fund, home fund, car fund, retirement savings, or other financial goals. Customize the subcategories based on your personal financial situation. Next, let's set up our savings. This section automatically displays the fund names you entered under savings. Then, enter your amount savings goal. Example, $300. Then enter the start amount, like existing savings. If none, just enter 0. Then fill up the start date and your ending date goal. After that, this section automatically computes your monthly or how much monthly to reach goal based on your start and end date. Here is your log sheet where you will enter every transactions including deposit. For example, type the date such as December 1, then enter the amount like $200. Next, choose which fund you are adding money to. For example, emergency fund. You can also add a description, but this part is optional. Continue entering every deposit you make. Let's go to the Savings Dashboard tab. Everything here is automated based on the information from your log sheet. This is where you can track your current savings progress for each category. For example, your emergency fund section. It will show your total savings for that fund. You currently have a total savings of $248. Below, you'll see a progress bar. You can easily track how much of your goal is completed. It will also display your goal date, target amount, starting balance, total saved from the log sheet only, not including the starting amount, remaining amount to save, monthly contributions, and the number of months left before your target end date ends. Remember that everything in here is automated. Above, you'll see the total goal amount, total saved, total starting balance, and the remaining amount left to save. Now that we're done with savings, let's go back to the Setup tab and scroll down to the Bill section. This area automatically displays the bill names you entered under the Bills category. Simply enter the monthly amount, select the due date, and add notes if needed. If you have bills that occur more than once a month, create separate bill entries in the category section. For example, you can use names like Ads Bill 1, Ads Bill 2, and Ads Bill 3, or customize them however you prefer. Once added, they will appear here. where you can enter the amount and due date for each bill. Lastly, complete the debt planner section. Start by entering the start date. You will also see the two debt repayment methods, Snowball and Avalanche. You can choose your preferred method later in the debt spreadsheet. This section automatically displays the debt names you entered under the debt category. For each debt, enter the current balance, minimum monthly payment, interest rate. For interest rate, make sure that it is in correct format, 0%. Enter the due date, and you should select the date of your first payment. And lastly, enter the due day. Next, let's move to the Calendar tab. This is your bills and debt calendar. Everything in this section is automated except for the white input cells and the check boxes. Start by selecting the month, year, and your preferred calendar format. Either Monday or Sunday is the first day of the week. All information displayed here is automatically pulled from the data you entered in the Setup tab. Your bills and debt payments will appear on the calendar to help you stay on the top of upcoming due dates. Once a payment has been made, simply check the corresponding box to mark it as paid and avoid missing any payments. You may notice that the calendar displays up to 20 bill entries only. If you have more than 20 bills or debts entered in the Setup tab, don't worry, additional rows are available in a hidden table. To access the hidden table, click the small arrow located here. If a warning message appears, click OK to continue. The hidden section will then expand and display the additional rows for your bills and debts. Only use this feature if the visible bills and debt section has reached its maximum capacity. After each month is completed, be sure to uncheck all checkboxes to reset the calendar for the next month. Next is the Debt Dashboard tab. Everything in this section is automated except for the white input cells, here and here. This month here is automatically set to the current month. Start by selecting your preferred payment method, either Snowball or Avalanche. Once selected, your debts will automatically be sorted based on the repayment strategy you chose. This section includes your debt names, debt amount, annual interest rate, minimum monthly payment, months remaining, end date, and a progress bar to help you track how much debt you've already paid off. This will show how many months left to pay off all debts. Also, this top bar here is the current balance of your debt. This is overall current balance. Here are the current balance for each specific debt. In this section, you'll find your payment schedule for each debt. This is the overview or the total. This is your total current balance. This is your estimated interest, overall monthly minimum payment, overall paid amount, and months left. The dates in this section are automatically generated on a monthly basis, starting from the start date you entered in the Setup tab. This is the overall balance per month. You can add extra payments anytime, and your balance will automatically update. You can also enter deductions in this section. Just add a minus sign before the amount. Deductions reduce your payments, which means your debt balance will increase. On the other hand, adding extra payments will help lower your balance faster. Next are the individual loan and their datas. This is the current balance for this debt. This is your estimated interest, monthly minimum payment, paid amount, and months left. This is your monthly payment amount, debt interest, and balance left. Also, this pie chart here simply shows the paid versus unpaid debt. Just remember, the key here is consistency. You need to make payments every month. Skipping months is not part of the plan. Once the month ends, the data will be grayed out and automatically considered as paid. Next, let's go to the Log tab. This is where you'll record all of your financial transactions, including income, savings deposits, debt payments, bill payments, and everyday expenses. For example, if you receive your salary, enter the transaction date first, as the date is used for tracking and calculations. If you receive $2,000 on January 2, 2026, enter the date. Input the amount. Select income as the category. Choose the appropriate subcategories such as business income. And then select the account. I'll explain how to set up this account field later. You can use it if you'd like to track transactions by account, but it's completely optional. Here's another example. If you spent $500 on groceries on January 5, enter the date, input the amount, select expenses as the category, choose groceries as the subcategory, and then select the account you use for the purchase. That's all there is to it. Remember, the lag tab is the heart of your spreadsheet. To ensure your reports, budgets, and financial calculation remain accurate, make sure to record all transactions here. Let's move to the Accounts tab. Here you can view the current balance of each account. Start by entering your account names, such as Bank of America, PayPal, or Cash. Next, input the account type. For example, Bank of America would be a savings, PayPal would be a digital wallet, and Cash would be classified as cash. Then enter the starting balance for each account. If an account has no starting balance, simply enter 0. The total in column is calculated automatically and shows all money received by the account. The total out column automatically tracks all money leaving the account. The adjustment column reflects the transfers made between accounts. Based on these values, the spreadsheet automatically calculates the current balance for each account. Now scroll down to the adjustment section. This is where you can transfer money between accounts. For example, if you transfer $1,000 from PayPal to your Bank of America account on January 1, enter the date, amount, source account, and destination account. You can also add notes if needed. Another example would be transferring $500 from Bank of America to Cash. After entering your transfers, scroll back up and you'll see the adjustment amounts automatically reflected in each account's balance and calculations. Next, let's go to the Monthly Budget tab. Again, only the white cells are editable. Start by selecting the month, then enter your budget starting balance. The actual starting balance is calculated automatically using data from the log tab. There is also a starting balance entry in the log tab, so be sure to enter the correct date to ensure accurate calculations. All of the colored cells in this tab are automated and pull their data directly from the log tab. This means your budget results will only be accurate if your transactions are entered correctly and consistently in the log sheet. Enter your budget or planned amounts here for each category. Note that the budgeted amount is what you plan or expect to spend or earn, while the actual amount is the real amount that you ended up spending or earning. You can see here the total for each field. There is also a graph or a visual overview, allowing you to compare your budgeted amounts and the actual remaining balance. Next is the Net Worth tab. This is where you track your assets and liabilities, also known as your net worth. It is optional but very helpful if you want to monitor or build your net worth over time.
So you can see, this field is grayed out because you haven't entered a date yet. First, let's fill out the overview section. For example, if the start date is May 1, 2027, you'll notice that January through April are grayed out, since the tracking begins in May. May to December are cleared. Now, let's change the date. For example, if the start date is January 1, 2027, all months are clear. Next, select the currency. For example, USD. For other currencies, you can simply type them in or copy and paste. Then enter your net worth goal. For example, if your net worth goal for 2027 is $100,000, type the amount here. In this section, you do not need to enter anything because it is automated. Please note that all colored cells contain formulas, so data should only be entered in white cells. This setup is designed to make it easy to remember where inputs are allowed. This is where you enter your asset data in this table. Example, you have cash, savings, house, investments, property. Then enter the balance for January. In the next month, for example, your cash is now $350 and your savings are $500, your house value stays the same at $10,000, your investments remain at $500, and your property value also stays the same at $5,000. Now let's check the growth section. You'll see that your cash increased by $150, right? Which is 77%. And your savings increased from January to February by $50, which is 11%. Your house value stayed the same at $10,000, so the growth is 0 and the percentage is 0. The same applies to your investments and property since there were no changes. If you scroll down, you'll also see your total assets for each month. Next, below is the liabilities section. It uses the same format as above. Example, include credit cards, loans, mortgages, bills, and taxes. For example, if your credit card balance in January is $3,000 and you make a payment in February, the balance may decrease to $2,800. Then just continue filling in the remaining months. In the growth section, you'll notice the values are negative because the balance is decreasing. This section is the summary. Here you can see total assets and liabilities for each month, along with the total growth. As you can see, the left to reach goal amount is updated and becomes smaller as your assets increase. This pie chart shows your current total net worth and your progress toward your goal. This bar chart compares your assets and liabilities by month. The dark blue line represents your assets. The red line represents your liabilities.
Next is the End tab. This section is completely optional and is available if you'd like to keep a monthly financial reflection. In this tab, you can review your total income, expenses, and remaining balance for each month. You can also rate your overall financial experience for the month on a scale of 0 to 5 stars based on how you feel about your financial progress and spending habits. Below, you'll find a space to write your personal reflection or observations for the month. To start a new line within the same cell, simply press Alt and Enter. Lastly, the Yearly Dashboard tab. This tab is completely automated, so there is no need to enter any data here. At the top, you'll find an overview of your annual income, expenses, and savings. Below, there is a pie chart comparing your total yearly income and total yearly spending, giving you a quick snapshot of how your money was used throughout the year. You'll also see a list of your top 20 expenses, helping you identify where most of your money was spent. Next is a bar chart that compares your monthly income and monthly expenses, making it easy to see how your spending relates to your income each month. Below the chart is your financial summary, which provides a month-by-month breakdown from January through December. This section shows your starting balance, income, savings, bills, expenses, debt payments, and ending balance for each month. You'll also find a pie chart that displays your yearly financial breakdown by category, including income, savings, bills, expenses, and debt. To the right is a chart showing your monthly savings, allowing you to track your savings progress at a glance throughout the year. Below is a line chart that tracks income, savings, bills, expenses, and debt month by month, making it easy to monitor trends and changes over time. This section also displays your monthly financial ratings, which are automatically pulled from the Reflection or End tab. Next to it, you'll see your total spending for each month. As you scroll down, you'll find detailed monthly breakdowns for each category. These reports allow you to track activity for each subcategory throughout the year. Income, month by month, you can view your monthly income for each income subcategory. Savings, month by month, track monthly contributions to each savings subcategory. Bills, month by month, you can review monthly payments for each bill subcategory. Expenses, month by month, you can monitor monthly spending for each expense subcategory. Debt, month by month, you can track monthly payments and activity for each debt subcategory. These sections provide a clear month-by-month view of your financial activity, making it easy to analyze trends and monitor your progress throughout the year. That's it. If you have any concerns, feel free to message our shop anytime. We're happy to help.